If you don't tell your money where to go, then you'll keep wondering where your money went. This is Angie on bonds. Do you have financial goals or objectives for your bonds investment? Of course, we are Kenyans. We invest because our friends are investing in something, or our families have decided this is where we need to invest. Of course, we are Kenyans. We invest without prior knowledge on what we are investing in and why we are investing. We just invest. So what are some of the financial goals that you can have for your bonds investment? Here is a list of some of them. The first one, retirement. Of course, retirement is a relative word, but in this context, let's talk of sunset days. I mean, we're not too far from our 50s or 60s. That doesn't mean we stop working, but that means we might not be actively engaged and our active income might come down, or we might be thinking of changing our careers, starting out our hobbies for them to become businesses, and for that to happen, you might need to have a stable passive income. These are the days when medical costs go up. You need to keep seeing your doctor for this or that. You need to travel. That's when you realize, okay, time is moving. You actually need to go and see places. You start thinking of business ventures. You start thinking of doing farming. You start thinking of coming up with consultancy firms and all that. Life changes. During your, let's say, your 50s, you start thinking differently. Or you can even take up an expensive hobby like golfing. So how do you need to base your bonds? Based on that, you need to have maturities which are coming up in those years, or you need to ensure that your coupons are constant by the time you're hitting your retirement days, so that even when your active income comes down, becomes low compared to what you're making, you're still covered with your passive investment. Number 2, your goal could be payment of rent. I know this one we can argue forever, building versus paying rent. You see, let's take for example, you might want to construct a house worth, let's say, what, 10 million. That will be in the outskirts of Nairobi, nowhere really close to Nairobi. And 10 million will come up with a nice, simple house. Or you could decide to put the same 10 million in a bond, and that can easily give you, at let's say, a net coupon of 15%, that can easily give you 125,000 per month, which can easily cover your rent. So it's just different ways of looking at things. So you have an objective of paying rent using your coupons as opposed to building. Plus, when you're renting, it gives you flexibility. You can always move around to a new estate. So think about that. The third one, payment of school fees. If you're my age or older, then you're thinking, and you have kids and you're thinking of fees, it becomes one of the major income that you have to cater for. And you know the months that you're supposed to be paying that fees, let's say January and April, is it April, May, and then you have August, September, depending on which system your kids are. And you might want to have to plan your coupons to schedule them such that they fall in these months. So every time the kids are going back to school, there's a coupon that's flowing in, and you can easily take care of that particular bill. Another one, vacation. This one is a personal goal for me because at my age, again, I'm able to easily take care of my bills through my active income, but I still want to enjoy a vacation maybe once per year, and I'll want to set up my coupons such that they'll cater for my vacations every year. That means if I'm planning to do the vacations, let's say in July, August, then the prior 3-4 months I'll have coupons falling on those months, and they'll take care of that expense. That could be a financial goal. Personally, that's one of my goals for that. Another one, acquisition of assets. Maybe you want to build a house, maybe you have a project that requires a lot of income, a lot of, let's say, a lump sum amount. So you could save up That could also be in bills or in bonds, and have maybe a 2-year bond, a 5-year bond, such that the maturity falls around that period where you want to achieve that particular goal. So it becomes a form of savement, using bonds as a form of savement to achieve that particular goal. So you're able to acquire whatever you want to at that specific period. Another one, tertiary education. If you have kids and you're thinking of college fees, which you know is required, and it's a big lump sum, you might want to have your maturities on those years. You might want to really plan your bonds in a way that by the time your kids are going to college, and maybe you'll want them to study abroad, then you'll have enough maturities that will cover at least the first 1, 2, 3 years, so you won't have to strain when your kids join college. Also, inheritance. Of course, we are Africans and we keep thinking of leaving pieces of land to our kids. But have you thought of establishing a portfolio in bonds whereby you leave it to your kids, and in a way that you've already planned it out for them? You see, and in many cases, when someone just leaves an amount to the kids as a lump sum, if you haven't taught them how to manage that amount, then they can easily misuse that money. How about doing it for them in advance? Like, let's say you're planning to leave them 2-3 million. Why not invest the same amount in bonds in a way that they can be receiving coupon every few months, so that even as they take up the inheritance that you want to give to them, before they learn on how to invest, they can continue enjoying the coupons, and it's staggered in a way that they won't misuse the lump sum. We've seen a case where families end up getting, let's say, even an insurance which pays you a lump sum, maybe in the case of a parent passes on. And when the family remains behind and are given a lump sum, they really don't know what to do with it. And before you know it, you no longer have that lump sum. It's maybe halfway, or they just misuse it. How about using bonds as a way to just plan it for them, so that you're handing them an investment that is already planned out? Food for thought. What do you think? Let's share. Let me hear from the comment section. Leave your comment and let me hear about what other objectives you have for these passive income that you get from bonds investment. I always encourage my clients to use the passive income for other things rather than just paying the bills, because we have the active income and that should be able to cater for the bills. So once you're done, you've covered the bills with your active income, and you have set aside a certain amount of savings that goes to investment, why not use that passive income to do something else rather than paying bills? Leave your thought on that, and let's exchange notes. Thank you for watching. Remember, if your money is not making you money, then your money is losing you some money.